Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Is anyone out there?
Another salesperson enduring the endless search. Exhausting. If you want to get right to the right conversations, you need LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Whether you're looking for new leads or strengthening existing relationships at your top accounts, get right to the right conversations with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Try LinkedIn Sales Navigator now with a free 60-day trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial.
Terms and conditions apply!
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, sorry if I sound a little stressed out, it's because I just finished playing the Division 2 DLC. You know, if I could just talk on that real quick, like, there's gonna be a couple of things I want to talk on. I want to talk on the Ubisoft's, like, mechanics when it comes to, like, the movement in the Division. And I also wanted to talk on content creating and, you know, like that conversation. I'm going to get to that in a moment, but let's talk on the Division's, just, you know, or Ubisoft's development when it comes to the movement physics and stuff. To just any developer, the lead developer, the least known developer, whichever. When has there ever been a time where you've been getting shot at and you just get stuck on a wall and you have to spam buttons left and right? Because if that's never happened, that shouldn't be in the video game. All right? Now, my thing is this. With this new DLC, for some odd reason, they done spammed this one enemy that always wants to chase after you with an axe. And for some reason, they got, like, this bulletproof glass that can't break through it. But here, I want to see how big a light machine gun bullet, LMG bullets. Let's just see the... they're decent-sized bullets, right? I would imagine... if you're shooting at some flimsy police shield, all right, or whatever it is, if you're shooting at that, I think it's like supposed to be some riot shield that they're holding, but it's like this glass, right? My thing is this. If you're shooting 100 bullets at this person, it shouldn't take the whole clip to kill him. It should probably be like 10% of the bullets that you're shooting at them. But for some odd reason, they want to have it where it takes pretty much a whole magazine to take out that individual. Why? For what reason? Where did you guys see that at? Where did you guys see it at where there is some sort of glass that can withstand light machine gun bullets? That's what I would like to know. So if you guys ain't never seen that, don't put that in the video game. There ain't no reason for it to be in the video game. That's honestly one of the most stressful things about Ubisoft is that they come out with these games, they make it seem like it's about to be the funnest games in the world. For some odd reason, they develop the game, but they go backwards when it comes to like having fun with the game and all that stuff. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. It shouldn't get to a point where you're getting stressed out with playing a game. Hold on for a second, because I got to take my watch off, because I'm over here thinking along the lines. Like, I'm gonna get to the content creating stuff here in a moment. But anyways, there should be no reason on why you go about developing a video game, but you are so backwards with it. And my thing is this. People want to rush to me and talk about, oh, it's a skill issue. Yeah, it's a skill issue on their development. Because it shouldn't take you guys years, multiple video games, all this, like, going through probably how many developers have you guys done went through throughout the years since, like, the very first Tom Clancy game? I'm saying, like, my thing is this. If you're having to go back and forth, do all these different things, add this, do this, change that, all this other, you guys do not know how to develop a video game. You don't. I'm saying, like, it should not get to a point where a person is playing your guys' game, and every time when I play it, it's like I'll play it for a long period of time, then when it's like that last moment that I have, it's something stressful that just gets me to the point where I'm like, fam, I do not want to play your guys' game. Luckily, you guys charged, like, it was, I think, like, $15 for that DLC. Because if you guys would have did some Destiny stuff and charging it where it's pretty much the price of a brand new video game, you're scamming people. You're even scamming people now with the few dollars that you are charging for the game or for the DLC. Even for the game itself. That's why you guys are having to do stuff like, oh, let's put the game for $3. It ain't got nothing to do with the game being out for a long period of time. I ain't seen games out longer than that, and they still charging a little bit of money for that game. But why is your guys' game $3? What are you guys doing with the game? My thing is this. You guys come out with a Division 3, you need to, no, it ain't even you need. You better fix that movement. Because it makes no sense where you guys is getting stuck on walls, stuck on obstacles, having it where you can't even like maneuver around and there's a whole enemy chasing at you with an axe, or chasing at you with a flamethrower, or chasing at you with a gun. Does that make any sense? Honestly, sit down and think about that. Put yourself in that scenario. What would you do if you see somebody running at you with an axe and you have a whole gun in your hand? Obviously, you're going to shoot them, but let's just say for some reason they got like this Superman armor to where it's going to take a lot of bullets to take them out. You just gonna stand there and just allow them to hit you? No, you're gonna get out the way. But there ain't gonna be no stuff like, oh, let me barrel roll to just another area of that wall. But they still can see me. They can still hit at me and do all these other different... I mean, it's common sense, Ubisoft. It is common sense. Common sense. I feel like that nowadays developers don't know nothing about common sense. They just develop a game and they're like, hey, let's just blindly develop this game. Just straight up just blindfold ourselves and just do whatever we need to do with this game. But you're not doing nothing productive. That's the part that upsets me so much about Ubisoft. That's the thing. It ain't even just with the Division. Every Ubisoft game I done played, it seems like there always has to be something wrong with it. Avatar, they had horrible movements. Rainbow Six Siege, that's just one big giant multiplayer game. It ain't even like a single player game like the traditional Rainbow games or Rainbow Six games. Rainbow Six Extractions, who plays that game? Nobody. I'm trying to think of some other games that you guys done came out with. I'm saying it's like you guys will do stuff in games where it's like it makes no sense. Why are you developing the game that way? Honestly, who asked you to develop the game that way? Who's telling you? Whoever it is, they're steering you in a direction where it's just people are not going to trust you when it comes to video game development. They're not. So I'm saying, like, my thing is this. If you're having it where people are going back and playing the old, and that's honestly what people are going to be doing. They're just going to go back and they'll be like, I'm not getting the experience that I want with the Division 2. I'm just going to go back and play the Division 1. Because you guys aren't doing nothing with the Division 2. You came out with this DLC and failed with it. So that's why I'm like, look, and anybody want to sit around and defend them, you go on your own platform. I'm not hearing no defenses for Ubisoft and their games. It makes no sense where it takes you guys this long to do some stuff with your game and you're not doing nothing productive. Nothing at all. It shouldn't. My thing is this. A person goes and plays a game. They're playing a game to have fun. They're not playing a game to get stressed out and getting to the point where it's like, fam, it honestly makes me want to break something. I'm having to like control my anger and try to like keep myself from like not breaking my equipment that I spent a lot of money on, like thousands of dollars. That's where I'm at right now when it comes to my equipment. And I am not going to let some halfway developed $3 game get me to that point. I would delete that game before it gets me to that point. But it's honestly, it just seems like it is a waste of money buying games from Ubisoft. Because, like, honestly, at the end of the day, are you listening to your fans? Are you listening to your audience? When people ask you to add stuff or take away things, are you guys listening to them? I know that you're not. Because the Division 2 ain't no different than the game that I played when that game originally came out back in 2019, 2018, whatever year that game came out. You ain't changed nothing about this game. Oh, you added some areas where a person can now explore and stuff. Visually, oh yeah, it's an amazing looking game, but when you actually play it, it's like, fam, who moves like this? Who's doing things like this? So that's why I'm like, man, Ubisoft, leave that stuff. Just leave it to somebody else. Leave it to people that actually sit down and they listen. It's like people that actually do play video games, and they're like, this is the vision that I have with this video game. This is what I want to develop. And then you see games like that, and then it's like, what's crazy is that nobody be playing them. Nobody don't know about those types of games. But it's like, but then you have it where there's developers like the people behind Ubisoft, and I'm like, my thing is this, are you a gamer or do you just work for a video game company? Because I feel like there's a difference between the two. So it's like, if you guys are gamers and that's the vision that you have, that's a horrible vision. I'm going to be just as blunt as I possibly can be with you guys. Horrible vision. I don't understand. How is it that you guys, if you've been playing video games your whole life, like, let me just take myself for an example, right? I've been playing video games almost my whole life. I've been playing video games since I was probably 2 or 3 years old. I still remember First game that I ever played was Mario on the Nintendo 64. I was like, I had to be between one of them two ages, 2 or 3, playing a video game. Fast forward, get a PlayStation 2, get 100 video games on that. Get a PlayStation 3, hundreds of games on that. 4 or 5, bunch of games on that. Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Series X, hundreds of games across those platforms. Well, not so much with the original Xbox, but gaming PC, hundreds of games on that. I'm saying it's like, and then my thing is this. Would you guys be alright with me developing a video game where it's not good? Like, honestly, be truthfully honest with that. I've been developing video games all this time. How long has Ubisoft been a company? Hold on for a second. Let me check real quick. How long has Ubisoft been around? Let's just see. 1986. Since 1986. And you mean to tell me y'all still can't develop a video game? What is it? Almost 40 years? Almost, yeah, 40, 50, yeah, no, 40 years. 40 years you guys have been a company, and I guarantee and I promise you, they're going to be like, oh, 40 years of Ubisoft, all this other stuff next year, and it's like, that doesn't mean nothing if you guys ain't got good games. I'm saying it's like the last time that you guys had good games was probably on the Xbox 360 during that time frame. Why? Because you guys had one time to release a video game. You had one shot to get that game right. I guarantee and I promise you, if the Division would have came out 1 and 2, if them games would have came out like back in the like early 2000s, or even just in that like at the beginning of like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 era, they wouldn't have messed up on those video games. They would have had one time to mess up. Their whole company would have been shut down. One time to do the stuff that they're doing today, and I promise you their company would have shut down a long time ago. Nobody is not trying to play any broken, halfway made, developed video games. Get that through your skulls, Ubisoft. It shouldn't take me making numerous videos, numerous podcast episodes, tweets, TikToks, all this different stuff just to get you guys to make a somewhat decent game. It's not even somewhat decent. I can't even, the thing is this, it ain't even in that somewhat category, it ain't even in that decent category. If people ask me, how is the Division 2? I'm going to be honest with them. The game is not good at all. That's not me not lying. That's not me though, like, oh, it's just because of, no, that is the truth. The Division 2 is not a good game, and I don't think it ever will be a good game. It confuses me, bro. It's like you guys have been around all this time. You can't make a good game. Why is that? That is a question that I want answers for. Why is it that you guys have been around since 1986 and you guys have not, during that time, 1986 to like right before the Xbox Ones and the PlayStation 4s came out, you guys had a good thing going with their games with during that time frame. What happened after that? That's what I would like to know. So, yeah, I'm like, Ubisoft, I ain't trying to, the thing is this, people can say whatever and be all like, oh, you don't know what you talk about, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fam, you don't play video games for almost, 20 plus, almost 30 years and not know nothing about video games. That's like telling a professional wrestler, oh, you can't run no wrestling business, and meanwhile, they've been wrestling for how long, like Triple H, for an example. Man's been wrestling, the 30 plus, almost 40 years. I mean, yeah, he ain't wrestling now, but that's like somebody telling him he doesn't know how to run a wrestling business because he's never ran a wrestling business before. But that's literally has been his job for over 20 years, 30 years. That's like telling an actor, oh, you don't know how to direct a movie or produce a movie or whatever, but they've been surrounded. They've been in that environment for how many years now? I'm saying it's things like that where I'm like, bro, it confuses me, man. It really does confuse me. But anyways, then with the content creating stuff, I just wanted to talk on this real quick. Like, I ain't gonna, because I feel like I have more to say about Ubisoft than this. But I'm like, with the content creating stuff, I'm like, people, look, this just goes out to anybody that doesn't really see the content creating vision. If a person says that they're a content creator, if they say that that's their job, if they say that that's their career, respect it. That's all that needs to be said about that. It shouldn't be no arguments. It shouldn't be, just respect it. Because I like the amount of times I'm having to explain that to people or try to it shouldn't be no explanation. There's all these careers in this world that exist and, and it's like, fam, there shouldn't be no explanation because, oh, it's just you sitting there recording or streaming or doing this or doing that. So what? Because I'm saying it's going to start getting to a point where I'm like, with this whole content creating conversation, that I'm going to start being disrespectful back. Because I'm like, man, it's one of those things where I'm like, the amount of times where I'm like, I'm having to tell people, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then it just seems like it just gets brushed off. And I'm like, fam, it's not something that you just, you might brush it off because that's not something that you're doing, but that's something that I'm doing. I can't just brush it off. This is literally my job. It is my career. I am trying to make the best out of it. So I'm saying, it's like, man, people just have some sort of respect for the content creating sphere. That's all that I ask for. If not, then go somewhere else with it. Go somewhere else with that conversation. Because I'm not trying to hear it at all. So anyways, but with Ubisoft, it's like, man, they're got like games. It just doesn't even make any sense to me where it's like your guys' game's been out for all this time and it's like you ain't tried to like update nothing, you ain't tried to do nothing, you ain't tried to fix it, and it's like you just sitting there just like, oh, let's see the most amount of money we can make off of it. Oh, let's add a part of New York that should have never been taken away in the first place. It was in the first division. Why is it not in the second division? When you guys did that Warlords of New York DLC, you guys added a corner of New York and said, hey, this is New York. But then people start getting on you guys about that. So it's like, my thing is this. I feel like when that criticism, when it gets too much, that's when they want to sit down and listen to people. That's beginning to be a pet peeve of mine. Why does it take a whole crowd of people to get you guys to actually do something productive with your guys' game? Because I guarantee and I promise you, if I was somebody of a much more bigger status and if I made this same podcast episode, you guys would be in a world of trouble right now. And then they'd be making them tweets and posts talking about, oh, we're sorry for the how the DLC and how the game turned out. Let's do something right now. Let's try to have it where the game is good right now. I'm telling you, it's one of those things where I'm like, video game companies, just any sort of product out there where I gotta use it for a long period of time and that stuff don't work properly, I'm telling you guys, y'all better hope, you better pray that I do not get to a point in time where I have an audience behind my name and then it ends up being a situation where you guys is backed into a corner and you ain't got no choice but to actually answer for the stuff that you're doing. So I'm saying it shouldn't take stuff like that. Stuff like that shouldn't be happening. Just come out with a game and have the game be good. I'm saying treat it like a situation where it's 2002, it's the PlayStation 2 era, you got one chance, one shot to release this game and the game being good. That's it. That's all you got to do. So anyways, with that being said, man, oh my God, I'm like, I know there's going to be more to say about Ubisoft in this DLC, but it's just, man, it is so annoying playing their games at times, because it's like, you guys just be doing stuff, and it's like, you ain't tried to consult with nobody, you ain't tried to ask nobody nothing, you ain't tried to have it where people test that stuff out, you just doing whatever with your guys' game. And that's why your guys' games are in the state that it's in right now, where you're having to sell the crew for like, what was it, $1? You're having to sell the crew the crew 2 for $1, the crew Motorfest for like $20, selling the division for $3. How much is the division 1? $1? I'm saying it's like it's one of those things that then have games like Assassin's Creed where it does good. Like that's the one game where you guys made sure of it that you didn't mess up on. Maybe I didn't play enough of it to see, but I'm like, yeah, have that same energy with all your games. Where it's like, okay, like, our games are in a bad state right now. Let's do something with it. But I just know that this podcast episode is going to come out. Ubisoft, they ain't going to do not one thing. They just going to make the most amount of money and just leave it at that. And I'm like, and that's just messed up to the fans. They go out and buy your support if it's been supporting you guys for all this time. And it's like, it just don't mean nothing. We're just going to just put out some old mediocre games. I swear, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be in a matter of time. I'm calling it. It's going to be in a matter of time. Ubisoft's going to put out a game that's going to do so bad. It ain't going to be because of what the game is about. It's going to be about how that game was developed. It's going to be so bad that it's going to put Ubisoft in the situation. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to lose no sleep over it. I'm not going to feel bad for them. I'm not going to be like, oh, maybe we should. No, I'm not hearing absolutely nothing. I'm like, you guys kept on doing this for all this time. Now it's time to suffer. So if you guys get put in a situation where it's like, oh, we're at a critical moment where our company might shut down, oh, well, that's tough. I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't feel bad for you guys. I'm like, maybe you guys should have been developing games in a good way a long time ago, rather than, oh, let's wait up until now, start pushing out all these. You know a game ain't good when they're having to do like weekly, if not daily, maintenance updates to fix whatever issues that they quote unquote think that they're fixing, and they ain't did nothing. So anyways, yeah. With that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys. Peace.